guys, happy Tuesday. Excuse me. I hope you guys had a great day yesterday. Today is going to be super great in language arts. Okay, so yesterday you read a story called 13 and a half about a 13 and a half year old girl who finds her dead bird, right? And then you plotted it on this story arc. The name of this story arc is Boy Meets Girl, and I know that's really confusing, but it's just the name of that shape, okay? So it doesn't actually have anything to do with a boy meeting a girl. It's just like the name of that shape. This is one of the options for how you can plot your story. The reason I like this story is it starts fine, right? It starts fine, then some good things happen, and then some bad things happen. There's some sort of problem, but it ends really good. All right, let's look at your other options. This story arc is called The Blob, and in The Blob, things start really bad, but then they get better, great things happen, things are so good, and then they're bad. They're bad, and they're really bad, and it ends bad. This is like kind of like the sports movie of like the team that can't ever win a game, right? And you're like, oh, this is so bad. But then they start practicing and working really hard, and you're like, oh my God, are they going to win the state championship? But then the state championship happens, and the other team is really good, and then they're behind, and they're not going to catch up, and then they lose, right? That's The Blob. This is also an option for plotting your story. All right, we got two more. This one is called Cinderella, and it's basically the story arc for every single Disney movie. Essentially, in a Cinderella story arc, things are like bad, they're not good. They get a little better, they're getting a little better. Things are so good, they're so good. Now they're bad. They're bad, and they're going to stay bad for a while. But then things are good, and they're good forever. You can choose this arc if you like the shape of it. The only thing that your story won't have is this forever ending. All right, got one more option. This is the last story arc, and it's called Man in Hole. This story arc is the most popular story arc of them all. So the majority of our movies that we watch today have this story arc. In a Man in Hole story arc, things start really great. Then there's a problem. There's a big problem. Things are bad. Things are so bad. They're getting better. They're getting better. Things are great. And it has a great ending. All right, you guys, now that we've gone over the 4 different story arcs, you have to make a really important choice. You have to choose which one of these that you want to use for your realistic fiction story. You can choose any of the 4. If you also want to draw your own, you can. That's okay. It's just really important that your story has both good things and bad things. But if they're going to go in a different order and you feel really passionately that you want to plot your own story arc, that's fine. If you don't know which one to choose, I would tell you to choose either Man in a Hole or Boy Meets Girl. Those 2 are the easiest to plot in my personal opinion, and they should make it easy. If you don't want to draw your own and you just want to use one of the ones that I've made for you, then what you're going to do is in Schoology's today's folder, you're going to find a yellow folder called Story Arcs, and all 4 of those story arcs are chilling in there. You're going to open one of those into Notability, and then you're going to plot it. So I'm going to show you what this looks like on my story. Okay, so for my story, I chose a Boy Meets Girl story arc. So it starts with Megan moving to Oregon, and then she's starting to make new friends at her new school, right? Like things are getting good. Her parents adopt a new horse for her. That's like the best thing that happens, but then there's a wildfire. And everybody's leaving, but Megan's family can't leave because of this horse. They just got the horse. They don't have a horse trailer. There's no way for them to bring the horse with them. The fire gets too close to their house. It's too close. And they have to leave the horse. So they leave the horse and they flee. They are able to leave and stay at a hotel. So the family is safe. And then eventually up here, they're able to return home. And then the horse is going to come back at the ending of my story. So what you are going to do today is you're going to choose which story arc makes sense for you. And then you're going to plot at least 10 things that happen in your story in the order that they're going to happen. Take your time on this. I am fully aware that you could rush through this and do this in 5 minutes. But this is like your rough draft to your story. This is like, this is my plan. This is what is going to happen. So make sure that it makes sense, that it's not unrealistic, and that it could happen, okay? So, to review, what you're doing today. You are picking a story arc. You're opening that story arc in Notability, or you're just going to Notability to draw your own. Then on that story arc, you're going to plot at least 10 things that are going to happen in your story, just like this one on the screen. And then you're not going to turn it in. You're not going to turn it in. We're going to use it tomorrow in class, so we'll turn it in tomorrow, okay? If you guys have any questions, send me an email or message me on Schoology. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!